So next example, solving equations with two rational exponents. So we're going to solve 2x plus 1 to the 5th power minus 3x plus 4 to the 0.25 power. And we're going to also check for extraneous solutions. So I'm going to write it over here to the right. So I got 2x plus 1 to the 0.5 power minus 3x plus 4 to the 0.25 power equals 0. Alright, since I can't isolate these, let's set them equal to each other. So I get 2x plus 1. Okay, 0.5 is really 1/2. Add the other one over. So equals 3x plus 4, and 0.25 we can rewrite as to the 1/4 power. Alright, so what we want to do is we want to eliminate any radical expression. So if we take each of these to the 4th power, we can eliminate all the radical expressions. So we're going to take them both to the 4th power. So it's going to become 2x plus 1, 4 over 2 squared, equals 3x plus 4. 4 over 4 is 1. So now, let's FOIL this, expand 2x plus 1 squared, which is going to be 4x squared plus 4x plus 1 equals 3x plus 4. Get everything to one side of the equation, so I'm going to subtract 3x and subtract 4. So I'm going to get 4x squared plus x minus 3 equals 0. Okay, let's solve. Let's x factor this. My a times c value is negative 12. My b value is 1. Two numbers that give me a product of negative 12 and a sum of 1. Well, 4 and negative 3 work. So let's rewrite 4x squared. Remember, since my a value was not 1, I have to replace. So 4x squared plus 4x minus 3x minus 3 equals 0. So let's group these. Notice I put a plus sign in between the groupings because remember they're not products of each other. So on the left side I can factor out a 4x, and when I do that I get x plus 1. On the right side I can factor out a negative 3 and I get x plus 1. So that equals 0. So by distribution properties I can say 4x minus 3 times x plus 1 equals 0. Now I can solve for the roots of each of these. So I can solve for x plus 1 and 4x minus 3. Well, if you remember our shortcut, x is going to equal negative back over front. So that's going to be negative 3 over 4, which would just be 3/4. Negative back over front. So x is going to just equal negative 1. So now let's plug it in and solve. Okay, so what's our original equation? Let's go back to the very original equation. I have to scroll up and look at it for a second. So the original equation was this. 2x plus 1 to the 1/2 power equals 3x plus 4 to the 1/4 power. So let's try x equals 3/4. So it would be 2 times 3/4 plus 1 to the 1/2 equals 3 times 3/4 plus 4 to the 1/4. Alright, so I'm going to get 6 over 4 plus 1, so we'll just say plus 4 over 4, so I can combine like terms, so that's 10 over 4 to the 1/2 equals 9 over 4 plus, since that's 4, we can say that's 16 over 4 to the 1/4. Okay? So really this is saying this is the square root of 10 over 2. Okay? Equal to 25 over 4 to the 1/4. So now I can rewrite this as basically 5 over 2 to the 1/2 power equals 25 over 4 to the 1/4 power. Okay. Well, let's look at this real quick. Can I make this 5 over 2 to the 1/2 power? Can I say this is 5 squared over 2 squared? Or even better yet, say 5 over 2 squared to the 1/4 power? I can. So when I reduce it, 2 over 4, it's 5 over 2 to the 1/2 power as well. So 3/4 works. Now let's try -1. So start back with the original equation. 2x plus 1 to the 1/2 power equals 3x plus 4 to the 1/4 power. So plug in -1. So I get 2 times -1 plus 1 to the 1/2 power equals 3 times -1 plus 4 to the 1/4 power. So I'm going to get -1 to the 1/2 power equals 1 to the 1/4 power. Everything looks good, but that's basically the square root of -1, and that cannot happen. So that answer does not work. So -1 does not work. So the answer to the equation is just 3 over 4. Okay? Last example. All right, solve. The square root of 3x plus 2 minus the square root of 2x plus 7 equals 0. Okay, for step 1, we're going to set them equal to each other. So I got the square root of 3x plus 2 equals the square root of 2x plus 7. Step 2, I'm going to square both sides. So I'm going to get 3x plus 2 equals 2x plus 7. Now isolate for x and solve. Okay. Okay, now we're just going to subtract 2x to each side. And we're going to subtract 2. We're going to do it all in one full swoop. So I get x equals 5. So now let's double check our answer. So I got the square root of 3 times x plus 2 equals, minus the square root of 2x plus 7 equals 0. So plug in our 5 and check. So 3 times 5 is 15 plus 2. So it'd be 15 plus 2. 2 times 5 is 10 plus 7 equals 0. So the square root of 17 minus the square root of 17 does equal 0. So my answer is x equals 5. That concludes this lesson. Double check your work and take your time.